Billionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.
Under the Fair Use Act, these videos are for information and educational purposes, and I do not own the rights to any of these videos that are shown. All rights reserved to the original content creators.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast, man. Before we start, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'm on the road to monetization, and if you could hit that subscribe button, I truly do appreciate it, man. Today, we got a few things to talk about. Government is looking like it's going to shut down, and both sides are not coming to a conclusion. We're going to get more details, but what it's looking like is that the Democrats are saying they want more money to go to healthcare, I believe it is. But I believe that the Republicans are saying that, you know, that's a front. They really want more money to help illegal immigrants, and basically the Trump administration isn't having that. So we'll get more details on that, but it's looking like the government is about to shut down, and people are going to be out of money for a little bit. Now, people that they do get money. It's like retroactive, so they will get paid for time. I knew somebody that worked at TSA, the airport, and during the last shutdown, and you know, they weren't getting paid, but they ended up getting the money. So, but it is, I mean, come on, I mean, it's a hassle. So it just goes to show you, I mean, it's like this. In some cases, the government shutdown is necessary to get stuff done. So, unfortunately, you know, sometimes this could be a good thing, but sometimes this cannot be a good thing. And I don't know what right now, but we're going to get some more information about this whole government shutdown. And I've been going down the rabbit hole about, been finding out about a lot of information on Israel and this whole Palestine issue, and just how corrupt our system is, and how involved Israel is in America's policies and everything that goes on in America, pretty much. And it's actually kind of crazy, man. You know, so we're gonna go into that a little bit, and then we're gonna end the show with Gillie and Cam had a friendly debate, and I was happy to see it. You know, it's never good when we going back and forth, but of course, Wallo, the peacemaker. That's why I fuck with Wallo. I don't know if he purposefully went and met with Cam, or he ran into him, but you know, Cam had Gillie on the phone, and they had a friendly debate about JalenHurts or whatever. So we're gonna go into that, man. I haven't been talking about my Eagles, but we've been doing really good. We've been doing really good. Getting it done. It ain't been the prettiest wins, but you know what I'm saying, we getting it done. You know, that Rams game was legendary, though. That joint was legendary. I won a few dollars on that game, and it was definitely dope as hell. The Eagles doing their thing. We need some work, but I feel like they was rusty, not playing, especially in the preseason. We ain't been playing in the preseason these last like 4 or 5 years. So I think that's like, you know, they had to get right. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they putting it together. I feel like the game against the Bucs was very telling, like showing that we got it. You know, it's just the OC change again. Like, come on, what's this? The third or fourth OC that we got. So it's never good when you got to keep changing the offense. Last year, our offense was dominating, and then, you know, obviously he got a better job, so he took that, and now we got another OC, and wasn't really doing his thing. What you seen, man, JalenHurts doing his thing, man, taking over and making it happen, getting them W's, man. That's all it's about. Doesn't matter how we get it done, as long as we get it done. But let's get into this first video on Fox talking about this government shutdown.
Fox News alert. Can you hear it? Nothing's happening because the government has officially shut down for the first time in nearly 7 years after the Senate failed to reach an agreement over spending before last night's deadline.
Actually,
Gref Jenkins joins us live on Capitol Hill with the latest. Hey, Gref, last time it lasted 35 days. Wonder how long this one will last.
It sure did. That's a great question.
Okay, so the government shut down already. Okay. All right, so see, been out the loop with this because I've been so, my head been on this whole Israel information.
Question, Ainsley. Brian Lawrence, good morning. It was December of 2018, and that government shutdown lasted 35 days, as you point out. Now, here we go again, the Senate failing to pass that short-term government spending bill. Now, hundreds of thousands of government employees will be furloughed, possibly some even let go. And this morning, we have a brand new statement from Democrat leaders Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. In it, they say Donald Trump and Republicans have now shut down the federal government because they do not want to protect the health care of the American people. Democrats remain ready to find a bipartisan path forward to reopen the government in a way that lowers costs and addresses the Republican health care crisis, but we need a credible partner. Now, here's the vote breakdown. It was 55 to 45, 3 Democrats voting with Republicans, John Fetterman, Catherine Cortez Masto, and independent Angus King, who caucuses with Democrats. 1 Republican, Rand Paul, voted against the bill as Minority Leader Chuck Schumer blasted Republicans over the bill.
Their bill, they call it clean, we call it totally partisan. There was no input from Democrats. Not a single line in their bill had input from Democrats. They never consulted us. Thune didn't consult me. Johnson didn't consult Hakeem. And the bottom line is that we had a partisan bill.
But House Speaker Mike Johnson slammed Democrats who were holding out to try to extend Obamacare tax credits.
What they're trying to do is roll back the reforms, the very important, necessary reforms that we included in the big, beautiful bill. We got able-bodied young men off of Medicaid. They should have never been there in the first place. And we got illegal aliens off as well. Millions of people removed from the rolls, which makes health care more affordable for everybody. They want to roll that back. Why? Because they want illegal aliens to be voters for their side.
Bruh. And on top of that, the first part, what that's very important. Like, why y'all want illegal immigrants on healthcare is crazy to me anyway. They already soaked up hella resources. Like, how long can we contain that? We can't, and that's just the bottom line. You know, America, for some reason, bro, I don't know why we just subsidize everybody. It's like really crazy, right? Like, when you really look into what America subsidizes is like ridiculous. And the first part, what he said about damn, let me go back. He said, hold on.
Makes health care more affordable for everybody. The reforms, the very important, necessary reforms that we included in the big, beautiful bill. We got able-bodied young men off of Medicaid. They should have never been there in the first place.
So
and we got illegal aliens.
The able-bodied people, like, you know, people like myself who is able to go to work and make a living and be part of the economy. There's a lot of people, they're saying that it's able to work and it's not working. Like, yo, bro, welfare, you know, these social services are supposed to be temporary. Only ones that are, like, you know, not temporary is like Social Security, disability, you know. It's certain things where people get long-term, you know, help. But, you know, food stamps, for most cases, most of this stuff is supposed to be temporary. And people are trying to be on it, like, their whole entire life. And you can easily go work, and it's... I don't see the problem.
Millions
with
of people removed from the rolls, which makes health care more affordable for everybody. They want to roll that back. Why? Because they want illegal aliens to be voters for their side.
The shutdown comes after a New York Times poll showed 65% of Americans said Democrats should not shut the government down if their demands were not met. Just 27% said they should. So where do we go from here? It's unclear. As you point out, Brian, it's quiet as a mouse up here on Capitol Hill. We are hearing from Majority Leader John Thune that they're expected to take some procedural votes in the Senate, which may show whether or not anyone is having a change of heart, but there are no indications that that is the case. Brian, Ainsley, and Lawrence?
All right, thank you, Griff. It could disrupt everything from air travel to the monthly jobs report to jobs at the DOJ, Social Security Administration. People could be furloughed. The non-essential workers are really those who will be most affected. They're going to be sent home without pay. That's offices in like scientific research, customer service, and then the essential jobs will stay.
I think that's what they want. You know, their whole goal, bro, is to make Trump look bad and to, just cause, mayhem in his administration. Like, so this stuff like this happening doesn't surprise me at all, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest, bro, because all they're gonna do is keep, he's taking away your jobs and all of these things when this can be an easy fix if they just agree to not have, illegal immigrants on healthcare and getting resources in general at all, and holding people to a standard in America, bro. What's wrong with that? You seen a clip with I should have played that shit with Pete Hegseth talking about the standards in the military. Saying that, listen, you got to meet a certain standard, and that goes for everybody. He was saying, like, even people that's, in the halls of justice, you shouldn't be fat, and, like, it's the truth. You in the military, bro. He was talking about how it's embarrassing that people are overweight and all of these things. And then they lowered the standards so women could be, in the military. But he was saying in combat roles and roles like combat roles, you have to meet a certain male standard. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. To be honest, that's going to save lives, bro. Because if you got people who aren't meeting a certain criteria in the army, bro, in the military, come on, bro. That's weak. And he said that makes us look weak. What's wrong with wanting to look strong as a country? Bro, at the end of the day, I don't agree with shit. Right, that's a fact. But my bad. Just threw me off. I gotta turn this off. Yeah, so bro, it's a simple fix, bro. Just comply. It's like, I understand if it was something crazy, I can understand them saying, no, we don't agree, we're not going with that. And I would totally respect it. But they're literally saying that we are taking illegal immigrants off of, these, from getting these resources. And if you're able-bodied, bro, if you're fit, if you could go to work, you should go to work. That's holding people to a standard.
At work, and that's military troops, border guards.
So we have been hearing some rumbling when it comes to the activists that they wanted the government to shut down, the Democrats. Now the polling suggested as well 47%. And Monday, there was some reporting that a deal was reached. And then Schumer got some pushback, and he pulled out of it. So, I mean, this is all partisan. This is all the base-driven. But they're going to say that the Republicans shut it down, but they're the ones that are essentially advocating for it.
Right. And I think at 10 o'clock today, there's a plan for a joint Republican leadership, House and Senate, to have a press conference around 10. And then after that's done, should not no Hail Mary be thrown or caught, they're going to be off. Because you got the Jewish holiday tomorrow, and they're going to come back on Monday, so we're going to have a full week. And the question is, will they start trying to extract some pain on us? For example, with the post office or TSA, will the lines get longer? Will they begin a slowdown? So there's about 750,000 workers that are going to be affected. But I'd add this. There's already some breaks among Democrats.
That's a lot.
Senator Fetterman, obviously. But Senator Cortez Masto of Nevada says, I'm voting to continue to fund.
Of course.
And Angus King voted for it. So if it was Rand Paul,
so
just decides because he's an ideologue, he's not in the practical world, he's not going to vote for it. So
3 Democrats voted for the bill. So it's definitely Democrats who are saying, let's continue with it. So I guess that's a good.
I wonder if anybody else is going to crack. You need 8 overall. You already got 3. So you'll see what happens now. It's about the blame. I think the deal that Schumer was thinking about was a week.
Well,
he goes, give me an extra week because they want some health care concessions.
Well, Schumer voted for the CR last March, and he got a lot of pushback from the Democrats for that. So this might just be political because he's facing a really tough race coming up probably if AOC is running against him. Here is, and many Republicans are saying, this is so hypocritical. Don't make this political, Democrats, because people are going to not get paid as a result of this. Just continue to vote like you did in March. With the exception of inflation, please just vote for the continuing resolution. They're not doing that, and they're saying that's so hypocritical based on comments they've said in the past. And this is what the Republican Speaker Johnson posted. Listen.
It is not normal to shut down the government when we don't get what we want.
If the government shuts down, it will be average Americans who suffer most. A government shutdown means seniors who rely on Social Security could be thrown into chaos.
Families will be hurt. Farmers will be hurt.
It's the service members who will work without a paycheck. It's the firefighters who will be furloughed.
This shutdown, you know who's going to feel the pain? You know who it hurts? You. Everyday people and the most vulnerable. Seniors, veterans, working families, hungry kids, y'all.
So what changed?
Well, why does she got a
different party, different majority? And by the way, that tape is rolling outside the Speaker's office. So any press person that walks by, I'm not sure how many Democrats come by.
Hey, yo, Speaker Johnson, stupid as hell.
I'll add one other thing. What Democrats want in the big picture is in 26, they think their best issue to run on is health care. So they want to make the Republicans look like they're cutting everybody's health care. So they are going to beginning to lay the groundwork here, and they're going to say, look, we shut down the government for your health care. But in reality, what they did is during the pandemic, they put money into health care because of everyone's illness and the scariness about, will I die tomorrow? But they never took the money back. So he wants to go back to pre-pandemic levels. Also, they cracked down on people, able-bodied people getting it, and illegals that were receiving it. So that's what they say. But if you want to, so what Senator Thune just said, and he's just a practical guy. He goes, if you want to talk about this, let's talk about it. But let's fund the government at the Biden levels while we do it.
We're going to have the Vice President of the United States on later on in the show. We're going to get full reaction to what's going on.
So basically, they're saying like they could have continued, I guess, to fund it. He said at the Biden level. So basically keeping it basically where it was at and maybe taking out, you know, the illegal immigrants and, you know, holding people to a certain standard. I'm assuming. And they don't want to do that. They don't want to come to the table. Everything is let's go against Trump. That's all it is. We're just going to go against Trump, and it doesn't matter. Let's see what Trump was talking about on this.
Mr. President, if there is a shutdown, how many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats. And as you know, they want to be able to take care of people that have come into our country illegally, and no system can handle that. And so we're totally opposed on that. But we can't take it. We just can't do it. I'd love to do everybody. I'd love to do the whole world. But our country can't handle people that come into our country illegally. And they want to give them full health care benefits. They want to open the wall again. Can you believe it? I can't even believe it. They want to open the wall. They haven't taken away boys playing in women's sports. They haven't done that. Men playing in women's sports. It's like they don't change. They lost an election in a landslide, and they don't change.
How long do you plan to give Hamas to respond to the ceasefire proposal you've laid out?
Well, we're going to do about 3 or 4 days. We'll see how it is. All of the Arab countries are signed up. The Muslim countries are all signed up. Israel's all signed up. We're just waiting for Hamas. And Hamas is either going to be doing it or not. And if it's not, it's going to be a very sad end.
Do you have a deadline? Mr. President, is there room to negotiate, or is this a take it or leave it deal? Is there room to negotiate with Hamas, or is this a take it or leave it deal?
You know, with Hamas, we want very simple. We want the hostages back immediately. And we want some good behavior. And, you know, it's pretty simple. You don't get simpler. Think of it. We've signed every country in the Middle East. This was like an impossible thing. It's never been done before. This is more than Gaza. Gaza was big stuff. But Gaza is a piece of it.
And if they reject the deal, you said that Israel has your backing to do whatever they need to do. What do you envision that
Let them go and do what they have to do. They can do it pretty easily. I would let them go and do what they have to do. You know, we've killed about 25,000 Hamas. So certainly they paid a big price for October 7th. And this is a whole new group. You know, they come in and they come in and they keep coming. But this is a whole different group. And their leadership has been killed 3 different times. So they paid a big price. We hope that they're going to have a nice, calm life. Maybe it won't happen. But if it does, it'll be one of the greatest things ever to happen. We'll have actual peace in the Middle East.
Are you preparing to take strikes against drug gangs in Venezuela, sir?
We'll see what happens with Venezuela. Venezuela's been very dangerous with drugs and with other things. And they've been very, very dangerous. So we'll see what happens with Venezuela. We had a lot of drugs coming in through water. We call it water drugs, just a simple term. We don't have any boats on the water. There are no boats. There are no fishing boats. There are no anything. So we hit a number of boats. You probably saw that. And since we did that, we have absolutely no drugs coming into our country via water because it was lethal. And now we'll look at cartels. We're going to look very seriously at cartels coming by land.
What do you plan to tell the Department of War in this address? Why gather all the generals in one place for a speech?
Well, this is only an esprit de corps. Do you know what esprit de corps is? This is only a spirit. We're going to be talking to him. Pete Hegseth is talking right now. I'm going to have to leave because I have to talk to him. But these are our generals, our admirals, our leaders. And it's a good thing. A thing like this has never been done before because they came from all over the world. And there's a little bit of expense, not much, but there's a little expense to that. We don't like to waste it. We'd rather spend it on bullets and rockets, frankly. But this was the one time we had to do a great spiritizing. It's going to be great. I've seen it already. We have every general, every admiral. We have great people. We have our real warriors over there. And when they're not good, when we don't think they're our warriors, you know what happens? We say, you're fired, get out. We had some real bad ones last time. You know, I rebuilt the military, the entire military. But I had a couple, and I had unbelievable people. To do that, you have to. But I had unbelievable people in there. But I also had some bad ones at the top, like Millie and Mattis and Jesper. I called him too. Always too late, Jesper. He was horrible. So, but I learned because you know I was just in there, and I put these people in. They were recommended by rhinos and others, and they're not good. What we have now is the best. But even despite that, I rebuilt the military in my first term. We had a great first term. We had the greatest economy ever, and it's being beaten by a lot this time. So I'm going over. I'm going to be meeting. I'm going to be meeting with generals and with admirals and with leaders. And if I don't like somebody, I'm going to fire them right on the spot.
Hey, yo. Trump shot the fuck out. So, all right, so that was Trump on his whole remarks on the government shutdown. You know, we'll see what happens. It's probably going to be, it's going to be some type of, I don't think they're going to budge. I don't think the Republicans are going to budge on illegal immigrants getting funding and them changing the age limit, like basically if you're able-bodied, you gotta go to work. Gotta go to work, you lazy motherfucker. Go to work. Tired of paying for bums to get shit for free. I gotta pay for my health care. I gotta pay for my groceries. I gotta pay for my rent. I gotta pay everything in full, and your bum ass, your broke ass get to get everything for free. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Anyway, let's get on to this. I want to talk about all of this shit that's going on. So I'm gonna try to play a few clips actually that I ran into that's interesting. I'm gonna start off with this Charlie Kirk one. All right, let's get to it. Matter of fact, let's go. All right, let's get into it.
I gotta be careful the way I say this. They're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. I mean, that's, and I don't use that term lightly, okay?
So this is Charlie Kirk. This is Charlie Kirk saying this, the one who wrote the letter to Bibi Netanyahu.
They're talking about basically removing 2.5 million people from there, okay? And let me tell you, my pattern recognition over the last 5 years has become pretty sharp. COVID, Maui fires, Epstein. When I see a story and it doesn't click, our guts are usually right. I gotta be careful the way I say this.
All right. So I want to also play this other one I ran into. Let me get out of here. Interesting.
There's two main reasons why I think America should be spending money and keep funding
Should or
Israel.
should not?
Should. The first is that Israel is on the forefront of technology, especially with the military, since they are constantly at war. And the way I see it is that if Israel falls, God forbid, then America will be next.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for sharing that. The first thing that I would say to you is, yes, you're right. Israel has a ton of technology. Who paid for it? Yeah. If I'm wondering if we spent our money here, could we have the same technology? I'm asking the question, if we stop sending our money overseas to build up other nations, I would imagine that we could maybe fund our own technology here. Second thing is, you said that, if Israel wasn't there, America would collapse. Did America not exist before 1948? It's just stunning to me that people think that we're so weak. We had a country before Israel became a state, right? So I think that, to me, feels very faithless in America.
So I already showed yesterday, right? I already showed the clips of the President Truman, basically President Truman saying that they had to take Gaza piece by piece. Should I play that again? Just to refresh. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Because that was the basically the tell all for real was them saying, let me see. How do I where is it at? Let me see. He definitely said that, bro. He said that they would take it. He said that they couldn't just hand it to him on a platter, basically. And when he says, Charlie Kirk just said too that they had to, they were going to ethnically cleanse Gaza, right? And Truman said, I ain't gonna spend too much time trying to find that. But hold on. I do want to play this one now. Now that I'm on here. But anyway, I played it if you want to check it out, I believe I played it on yesterday's video. He basically said he couldn't give it to him. Yo, listen. The Palestinian people were in Israel, right? Before Jews came there. Now, there were Christians there, there were European Jews there, it was 80-90% Muslims though. But there were other ethnic groups there. Then in 1948, like she said, that was when they went and basically removed all the Palestinians that were there, and the Jews moved in basically, and that's how they created the Israel state. So they act as if they're like, this isn't crazy. Like, to me, I think it's crazy, And then I see all of these videos, looking into this, and I see stuff like this, for instance, right?
Surely, Your Majesty, you're not telling me that the Jewish lobby in the United States pulls the strings of the presidency.
Not entirely, but I think even a little too much for Israel interest. They're pushing around too many people.
How do you mean pushing around?
Well, pressuring, they have many means at their disposal.
Why would the President of the United States pay attention to that lobby?
They are strong.
Strong in what sense?
They are controlling many things. Newspapers, media, banks, finances.
You really do believe that the Jewish community in the United States is that powerful? They make the media reflect their view of foreign policy?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The New York Times, for instance.
My bad.
The New York Times is biased in its treatment of the question of Zionism, Israel's existence, the United States' relationship with the Arab world.
You can put this to the computer and it will answer you.
What you're saying is that, yes, you do believe.
Well, let's wait for the answer of the computer.
Washington Post.
The same.
The networks.
Less.
Surely.
Yo, this shit get deep and wicked. Yo, it's crazy. Like it's crazy because this information is like out there. It's not like a secret, bro. Like I've been just doing a little bit of research and I haven't even been going super crazy, but I found enough to be like, damn. Like this whole situation is crazy. So anyway, let's get on to this. This piece done by this journalist. She's a Jew, and she's talking about this whole ordeal. So let's just get straight into it.
There's literally nothing that Israel won't do in the name of vengeance and in the name of continuing Zionism. For some people, the takeaway is as long as they're not literally putting people in ovens, as long as they're not doing exactly what the Nazis did, that somehow that's okay. It's actually not okay. Never again doesn't mean never again in the exact same way that the Nazis did it. If that's your takeaway from the Holocaust, you really need to look at yourself and do some soul searching. I'm Jewish. I lost members of my family during the Holocaust, and the truth is, Israel does not represent me. Israel does not make me safer. In fact, it puts me and all Jews in greater danger, because as Israel commits these crimes against humanity and live streams them, and in some cases gleefully live streams them, we've seen soldiers doing this, Israel doing that and saying it's in the name of Jews, that will create anti-Semitism. The idea that Israel represents all Jews is in itself an anti-Semitic idea. The dual loyalty trope says that all Jews are a monolith and we're all loyal to Israel and we can't be trusted to be loyal to other governments, regardless of where we live. That is really what Israel is leaning into. And you have anti-Semites and then the government of Israel, AIPAC and the ADL, all making the same argument, which I think really shows you the dangers and the inherent anti-Semitism of Zionism. People like to claim that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitic. Well, it's actually not, given that you literally have more Christian Zionists in the world than you have Jewish Zionists. This particular Christian form of Zionism wants Jews to go back to Israel so we can provoke the end times, Armageddon. All Jews except a very lucky 400 who accept Christ as their Lord and Savior burn for all of eternity. So these are the allies. All these cancel culture warriors who talk about right-wingers being canceled are very silent, interestingly enough, when it comes to critics of Israel, who are probably the most canceled people of all. If you're a Palestinian critic of Israel, you're very, very, very canceled. If you're a Jewish critic of Israel, you're less canceled, but you're still canceled. You're just canceled as a self-loathing Jew as opposed to an anti-Semite, which is a significant difference. I mean, I was fired by a network for saying that Israel is an apartheid state. So my being Jewish didn't really protect me. And of course, there's a huge bias in the way that corporate media reports on Israel-Palestine. They're very clear when Russia does something. Russia bombs, Russia strikes, Russia kills. When it's Israel, it's often Palestinians killed in attack, Palestinians dead after bombing. We even know that networks and outlets instruct their writers and reporters not to use certain words like genocide, not even to use the word Palestine. In fact, the reporting by the New York Times on the alleged mass rape used by Hamas was so bad that they had to cancel a podcast that they were going to do about it because there was so little to back it up. Now, on the other hand, you have countless stories and allegations of Israelis raping Palestinians. That got totally ignored. It's really fascinating that we hear time and time again about the 40 beheaded Israeli babies even though there was no evidence of that. And we do have evidence of actually beheaded babies, children with their heads blown off. I mean, we saw a child literally shredded. Various representatives of the Israeli government are never asked about that. They're never asked to condemn Israel's violence. They're never asked to condemn Israel's terrorism. There was a doctor who was tortured to death. If you don't already feel disturbed by the images of Palestinians or the stories of Palestinians, the story of Hind Rajab, who was left in a car to die when she was begging for help, and Israeli soldiers shot up the car and shot up the ambulance trying to rescue this girl. If that doesn't haunt you, I would really urge you to imagine.
So she's a journalist and she's telling you about how basically how they lie, bro. They lie. They control the media. I showed the clip, the shirt before this, and they basically was telling you they control television, they control the narrative. I seen this other show. I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it, but I ran by it. And this guy was at hearing, some type of hearing, and not exactly sure where it was at, but he brought up the fact that these Jews, right, that are basically part of Israel, are deep into the government. That's why they said that the Israel lobby is the biggest lobby in America. Like the guy broke down all the like names. I gotta find this shit. It was interesting. Like he broke down all the names of people in different departments that are in the CDC, that are in these like big parts of the government that matter. You know, that dealt with COVID. That like bro, yo, bro, this shit is deep, bro.
Imagine this
This shit is mad
happening
deep.
to a Jewish child during the Holocaust.
But they control the narrative, bro. They control. So if you control the narrative, then you could, of course, that's why everybody is saying, like Officer Tatum. And I don't know if he plays, and I'm only speaking on him because there's only a few people I follow, right? And like I just, like I said, he bothers me just off of how he talks about, like he really has a hatred for Muslims. And that bothers me. That bothers me. And the lies that he tells is crazy. And as far as that part goes, right? And I don't know if he plays stupid or he really genuinely, or if he's getting paid to say the things that he says. But to me, it's insane. Like this information isn't hard to find, bro. And if you claim you're a Christian and you're so righteous and you're not even doing the bare minimum of research on what you're claiming to support, but I guess when your channel gets, is like to a certain point where you could care less, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess it doesn't matter, It's just crazy, bro. This information isn't hard to find. And my whole thing is, this is a Jewish woman who is telling you about, giving you her firsthand reporting on this situation. And I've showed you information from way back, from President Nixon, from President Truman, telling you, about how this even came about, and basically these Jewish people are using they not using now, but they use the Holocaust as, basically their right to do the things that they're doing, bro.
I think that Jews should understand
think they're
this,
better than
if anything,
everybody, bro.
more than other people, because of our history of
It's
being
crazy.
targeted, of being otherized, of being compared to vermin, of attempted extermination, of genocide and ethnic cleansing, and of the world looking the other way. That is something that we have to remember. That happened to us. We can't let that happen to other people. That's not justice. That's not how we honor those killed in the Holocaust. Everything that Israel tells you about its founding, about its history, and about its role today is a lie. Some people think, Israel was founded for Holocaust survivors, and then it got greedy and took over too much land and ruined its founding mission, which was to be a safe haven for Jews. The truth is, it was founded on ethnic cleansing. It was not a utopia. I think it's really eye-opening to look at the actual language of early Zionists, because they were calling their banks colonial trusts. They were talking about how natives always resist colonists. In other words, it's not just critics of Zionism who describe Zionism as colonial, it was the Zionists themselves. Israeli society really had a lot of disdain for Holocaust survivors. So
really pay attention to what she is saying, bro. She's breaking it down, bro. And I'm always like, now that I'm getting more familiar on how to, do things on this channel, I'm gonna link I want to link a few videos in the description about this shit too. Cause like, bro, if you're into it, my thing is this is part of history, bro. And it's good information to know. And you should definitely look into this, especially when we're being brainwashed to, being programmed to think that, oh, the Muslims are the bad guys and they're the, when, you got to look at this, thing from every angle. And it's a lot of information, but it's not really hard to look into, bro. The information is out there. There's people, great journalists outside of legacy media who aren't great journalists. There's great journalists out here who do the homework, bro. They really dive deep into this shit and give you accurate information on what's going on. And she is a Jew telling you about Israel.
they did something very disgusting. They both weaponized the Holocaust to justify their extermination of Palestinians, and they mistreated Holocaust survivors. In fact, they even referred to them as sapon, which means soap in Hebrew. And that was because there was a myth that Nazis turned Jewish bodies into soap. It's not true, but that was a myth. And the important thing is that people thought that was true, and they thought it would be appropriate to call survivors by that name. Israel wanted to create a new Jew that was armed, that was working the land. They were ashamed of the Jews who were killed. They thought that they went to their slaughter like sheep. They were ashamed of Jews who were religious, Jews who were scholars, Jews who were also cosmopolitan. They really did, ironically, internalize a lot of anti-Semitism. There were Zionist bombings in the Middle East that were used to scare people into emigrating out of Iraq, out of Morocco, and into Israel. That's how little they cared about Jewish people. They bombed synagogues in order to get people to leave the Middle East and go to Israel, where they would be mistreated, which is what happened to Mizrahi Jews. Some were basically put into camps. They rejected Yiddish, which was spoken by Eastern European and diasporic Jews, and they also rejected Arabic, which was spoken by Mizrahi Jews of the Middle East. Yiddish is an amazing language, and it's dying out, and the reason it's dying out is because Israel chose to create modern Hebrew, which no one spoke, and they had a lot of disdain for a lot of Jewish culture. So Israel has always been a racist project in many ways, against Palestinians, but even against Jews themselves. And it's been an anti-Semitic project as well. Not only is Judaism obviously much older than Zionism, but there was Christian Zionism from the very beginning, and that was fueled by anti-Semitism and the desire to get Jews out of Europe. Lord Balfour of the Balfour Declaration was a major anti-Semite. Zionism actually requires anti-Semitism to justify its existence. So for Zionists, they don't want to defeat anti-Semitism. They want to use it to strengthen the state of Israel. It's also true to remember that this is not a conflict about religion or culture. Jews and Christians and Muslims lived in peace and harmony in many areas of the Middle East for centuries. This is about power. This is about land. This goes back to resources. This goes back to the West wanting to have a foothold in the Middle East. This is not about religion. Jewish anti-Zionism has existed since Zionism. A lot of Jews opposed Zionism because they, I would say rightly, predicted it would create anti-Semitism. There's a very rich radical history of Jewish internationalism. During the Spanish Civil War, which many people see as the dry run for World War II, among all the international brigades, so all the volunteers who left their countries to fight in a war against fascism, the most common language spoken was Yiddish, which speaks to this tradition. If we look at so many struggles like the civil rights movement in the United States, there were lots of Jews involved in that. Jewish people were overrepresented in that movement. If you look at South Africa, some of the most active anti-apartheid activists were Jewish. That's the tradition that I'm proud to be part of, not a tradition which weaponizes trauma, tragedy, and the Holocaust to kill more people. Israel is unsustainable. There's no coming back.
The thing that she said that's very important, right? Because people like Officer Tatum and more will make you believe that Christians are getting crucified in the Middle East and that's not true. Like she said, for centuries they lived in harmony pretty much. And if you do your history, like I said, that people like him don't do, they go off of what's going on now and what we've been programmed to think about the Middle East. And that's how people view these types of situations. But people like her telling this story, right, is very important, because not just because she's a Jew, just because she's a person that's giving you accurate information that you could go research yourself. And that's what I do. Like when I hear certain things, when I got, kind of like on this topic, because I got on this topic only because I just didn't like the fact that he was trying, like Officer Tatum kept bringing up, like trying to make Muslims look bad. Like they're like, and not just him, even PBD, like they have a disdain for Muslims. And like at the end of the day, like, yes, there's extremists in every group, bro. And she's explaining this to you right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to understand. Do I agree with everything Muslims represent? No. But they don't represent the whole of Islam neither. The same thing with Christianity. Same thing with Judaism, or whatever religion that you're in. But like she said, this isn't about religion. This is about power. This is about taking over land, and that's what they did.
From this, something new needs to be created. Jews can live side by side with Muslims and Christians in Palestine, just as they have for centuries. If coexistence is so impossible, and if anti-Semitism is so impossible to fight against, how is it that Jews live in Germany today? Germany was where anti-Semitism turned into the Holocaust, and yet somehow Jews are able to live in Germany in safety. But we're supposed to believe that they can't live in Palestine in safety? Palestine is not the country that created Adolf Hitler. Palestine is not the country that created the Holocaust. The biggest threat to Jewish safety is not a free Palestine, it's Zionism. It's essential to challenge the lies and propaganda of mainstream media. You won't see videos like these in the mainstream media, which is why it's so...
That's a fact. That's a big fact. But shout out to her, man. That was definitely a dope breakdown of this whole situation. And she was talking all facts, bro. And that's the thing, bro. That's why I tell you, bro, this shit is bigger than Republican and Democrat and all that shit. That's why I told you, bro, stop being a slave to these parties and, politics in general. Just because I talk about it, I'm not a slave to it, though, dog. I understand that this shit is way bigger and way deeper than what they try to make it out to be. And like, why, like, yo, another thing that pisses me off is, like, I see, like, for instance, like the Democrats going so hard for illegal immigrants. But, like, why aren't they, like, do you notice that, like, all of these people, like, officers saying, like, you're going so hard. You're going so hard for Israel. They're going so hard for illegal immigration when we're right here in America and blacks have been fucking going through turmoil since we've been here, right? Granted, today we definitely have opportunity, but there's still a stronghold on, like, power and control, and there's still a limitation to what what doors we can walk through. You know what I'm saying? It's still like a control, bro. And like, I just don't see the same sentiment for illegal immigration. Like, I don't see that same sentiment for all of the black bodies that are in all of these prisons all around the nation. Like, I don't see, I just don't see it, bro. I don't see them busting down the doors for, the shit that's going on here. We so concerned about, all of this other shit that's going on in other countries and illegal immigration, and it's crazy, bro. It's so crazy, bro. It's actually sad, bro, to be honest. That's why you got to get to it, man, and then make a way financially where you can fucking move how you want, because best believe there's way bigger agendas that we just don't, it's a lot of people that's in tune with it and see it coming. And there's people such as myself who's interested in it and looking at what's going on. But there's people that it's a lot more of us who just don't know shit. We don't know anything. All we know is what they tell you. And bro, it's called Tell a Vision for a reason, my nigga. It's because they want to tell you the vision that they want you to know. And that's the reason why there's so much hate in America for Muslims and Islam, even though they'll talk about what's that shit called in Michigan? It's a whole town in Michigan. And I only heard about this because I seen a video of some white girl going out there disrespecting the Islamic culture, you know, eating bacon and, you know, dancing and doing just dumb shit, just corny shit. So disrespectful, bro. But if they do that, hey, yo, it's crazy, man. Yo, it's so crazy, bro. This shit is nuts, man. But let's move on. Let's move on from all the goofiness. Let's get into some football talk. So this was Gillie and Wallow had Gillie on the phone and he was debating with Cam about JalenHurts.
Fantastic for you had Joe Burrow. Go ahead. Lamar Jackson. Go ahead. You have Patrick Mahomes. And you have, who am I missing? Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. That's the Fantastic Four. Okay. And then I double down on the Matt Stafford. Then I hit him with the Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was like, oh, man, you playing with the Justin Herbert?
No, but we talking about right now, top 10. And you know they 4-0, right? You see what's going on.
I understand, but is it just solely off of JalenHurts?
No. Where is he at, though? Where is he at? Is he in the 10 now?
First of all, nobody else is playing good right now.
That's a lie.
Who? Who playing good?
That's a lie. You don't know if he's going to play good or not. Man, you better make sure that your boy A.J. Brown is going to be on that sideline for the whole year.
No, he...
I'll cut it out.
AJ gonna be there.
He got 2 receptions, bro, for 7 yards.
It don't matter. AJ's a beast. He's a dog. He's gonna be there. Teamwork make the dream work.
No, it don't.
They gonna bring it together. Look, come on.
I understand that. But are they winning it by him alone?
I don't understand that argument, bro. Am I tripping? Let me know. That argument of, is he doing it alone? Like, what quarterback is winning games by themselves? Like, you can argue. The only one I could kind of see that argument maybe is Josh Allen. I can see that because I've seen him take over. Like, I'll give it to Josh Allen. He's a great quarterback. But, bro, it's a team sport. Like, you can't win it by yourself. I don't understand that argument. I think it's stupid.
You can't win them by... Hold up. Hey, listen, how you gonna win a game by somebody alone? Cam, they can't win a game.
Right.
Listen, they never won a game. Listen, but hold up. They never won a game. Hold up. They never won a game with Cam by yourself. Cam. They never... You never won a game by yourself, Cam. You never win a game. When did you win a game by yourself? Listen, hold up. When did Cam win a game by himself? When did Cam? You can't go on the field and win by yourself, Cam.
Julius Peppers.
Julius Peppers was good.
And Lightning.
You had 10 Pro Bowlers, Cam.
Okay, now since we're gonna talk football,
You can't deny
I'm
that.
saying is
You
this.
can't deny that,
In
Cam.
order to be elite, it's hard for me to put a person in a category which throws for 130 yards and wins a game. If Lamar,
That's actually crazy. That's actually just goes to show you the greatness of JalenHurts. Like Chris Jones said, like Chris Jones was hot when he was the game was over, they was kneeling, and he said he made a comment to JalenHurts about him only having 100 yards, and JalenHurts said something like, "We won a fucking game." Like, that's the truth, bro. They won a fucking game, and that should be even more embarrassing to teams that this guy is throwing for 130 yards and winning games, bro. Like, that is crazy. But I think it's more embarrassing to the teams that we're beating. And to be honest, this year, nobody's really standing out. Like Saquon hasn't had a breakout game yet, right? AJ, I know when he played the Bucks, he had a great game. Devontae been pretty solid, but nothing crazy. Nobody has like broke out and had crazy numbers. And he's only through, obviously, you know that because JalenHurts is going for 100 yards, 130 yards. Like, they're getting it done though. The defense is getting it done in big plays these last 2 games, I believe. But bro, nobody is doing it by themselves, bro. You need the players. Look at Xavier, KC. Kansas City just beat Baltimore, right? And they looked good because they got Xavier Worthy back. So it goes to show you that they couldn't get a win without Xavier Worthy. So you can't do it by yourself. Patrick Mahomes literally lost 3 games straight because he didn't have his players. So it goes to show you that he can't do it by himself. He needed Xavier Worthy, who is dope, great wide receiver. Bro, you're not going to sit here and tell me that if Josh Allen doesn't have fucking James Cook, Keon Coleman, Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, like if he doesn't have these players on the field, they're not winning the game solely off of Josh Allen. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. If he doesn't have Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, fucking Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, like if he doesn't have these players out there, what are you talking about? He's not winning the game. That is a fact. So that argument that he doesn't solely do it on his own, no team is doing it solely on their own. You need the defense to play their part. The defense is very crucial. Very crucial. And you know that because look at when we played KC the first time in the Super Bowl and we lost, that was an offensive game. The defenses on both sides of the ball wasn't playing the best. We gave up hella points. You feel what I'm saying? On both sides. That was an offensive game. Defenses win games too. You know what I mean? So you need a great defense. You need a great special team. Look at the special teams. Look at when we played the Rams. The special teams won the game. The special teams won that game, bro. 2 major field goal blocks. You know, like, so it's a team sport for a reason. You need it. Like, you need everybody to play their positions in order to win games, bro, on both sides of the ball. And on top of that, you need great coaching. We have had JalenHurts has had to go through, 3-4 OCs? Like, what? That's crazy. That's insane. That's like fucking damn near having a whole new playbook 3 years straight. So you got to give him that credit, too, to go through the OCs that he's went through and still winning games. Like, what is he, like, fucking 18-1 right now or some crazy shit? Like, last 18 games? You know, obviously that's including, it's some crazy shit. Like, yo, bro, JalenHurts is the real deal. And I just feel as though, like, okay, you could put Lamar Jackson, you could put Patrick Mahomes, you could put Josh Allen. I'm sorry, I'm not putting Joe Burrow over my boy JalenHurts. I'm just not. And I'm only saying that because he can't stay healthy, bro. And you know what I mean? Is he a great quarterback? Yeah. You know, like, honestly, to be honest, right now, I put I don't know if you said Caleb or Caleb Williams over Justin Herbert. I think he said, yo, bro. Caleb Williams from Chicago? Bro, that boy is nasty. I'm putting Dak Prescott over Justin Herbert, over Joe Burrow. Let's be honest, bro. Before Dak got hurt, Dak was putting up crazy numbers. We just talking about from a quarterback perspective. We're not talking about, like, winning games. Because we know that Dak, he chokes. And I'm cool with him choking. You feel me? He's in our division. But, bro, don't sit here and make it seem like motherfuckers, is out here putting everything on their back and they're winning games, bro. This is not true, bro. It's not true. And then on top of that, bro, you ain't even put Jared Goff over. Like, look at their team. Look at fucking Detroit, bro. Detroit got a squad. To me, the best running back duo in the NFL, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Name another better duo.
For 130, do you think they win?
Just saying.
If Patrick Mahomes only throws for 130, do you think they win? Do you think if Joe Burrow only throws for 130, do you think they win?
Get him, Gil. I don't know what to say.
No.
Yo, Wallo's stupid.
Listen, if Joe Burrow was on the Philadelphia Eagles, then what? If you put JalenHurts on the Cincinnati Bengals,
Joe Burrow already got two of the top wide receivers in the league.
Facts.
What Joe Burrow
Facts.
can do.
Win.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yup.
Guess who can beat Patrick
That's a fact.
Mahomes? The norm. Guess who got a better record against Patrick Mahomes?
Ooh, JalenHurts.
Just tell me when I can talk.
That's a fact. Gillie talking.
Go ahead. Okay, bro. There's no denying, and I hate, and let me say this. Let this be on record.
Argue that,
I hate that we're talking about a person that cannot defend himself in JalenHurts. I love Jalen. I love everything that JalenHurts brings to the game. It's not about me hating on Jalen. Me being in this role, I have to give my football analytic, not person, football. I'm sorry, baby. Let's get it.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, man.
We got to give our football analytics, and therefore, I'm only talking about the football player, not the person, okay? Now, when you start talking about, okay, comparing and contrasting, they blocked the field goal. Then they blocked the punt. It's the Philadelphia Eagles, Wallo. Understand?
But did you ever win a game by yourself,
No.
Cam?
No. You keep trying to move the goalpost. My goalpost is the Philadelphia Eagles is the best team in the NFL. Okay,
True.
the best team in the NFL.
That's the best thing that Cam said.
I'm not. Come on, give me. Talk to me, Mr. Farr.
If the defense don't intercept the ball against Tom Brady, against the Seahawks, Tom Brady got one less championship.
Hello, and if he didn't have Adam Vinatieri, should we go down the list? I understand this, bro, but I'm telling you, you cannot forget the factors. You got Saquon, you got A.J. Brown, who's disgruntled, by the way. You got Devontae Smith.
Yo, why you keep bringing that up, bro? Yo, why you keep bringing that up? He trying to play my boy. Why you trying to act like A.J. trying to lead the Eagles, bro? I don't like that.
Spitters.
I don't like that, Cam.
That flew over your head, but anywho, this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's nothing against JalenHurts. It's nothing against the Philadelphia Eagles. But what it takes JalenHurts to do to win a football game, you try that with other members on other teams. They're not going to win. They're not going to win, and you know that.
It was the teamwork make the dream work.
No. With Patrick, if Patrick Mahomes only throws for 130 yards, see how bad they get blew out. If he throws for 109 yards, see how much he get his ass whooped. If you see Lamar Jackson,
What you're not talking about is the money plays that when we need them, JalenHurts makes with his feet.
I never said this, Gillie, Mr. Fard. I've never said he's not capable. He's just not asked to do it as much as the other guys. That's all I'm saying, bro.
All I'm saying is, you know what all the other guys do that JalenHurts don't do, Cam? Turn the fucking ball over.
Do they turn the ball over, Cam?
They do.
They do.
He said they do.
Cam?
But all I'm saying, dog, man, he got
You played in the league. What's the first thing they tell you? And what your coaches tell you? If we protect the ball, we give ourselves a chance to win.
No. I give you one. I give you
Hold
one.
up, cuz.
Ball security is job security. That's what they teach us.
That's a fact.
But understand this too, because Stephen A. tried to tell me this. He said, Jerry Jones gave Dak Prescott $60 million to throw the football. I said, damn, how much JalenHurts making? And he ain't being asked to throw the ball as much? Come on, bro. He getting up 50 ball plus. Come on, bro. All I'm saying is I'm here to report the football.
Exactly. What is Cam? My thing is, what is he talking about? They throw the ball, bro. They throw the ball. You do know that a target doesn't always amount to a reception. So a nigga can have 15 targets in a game with only 7 catches. So you're not counting the missed pass, the overthrows, and things like that. He passes the ball. The fact of the matter is that he got to use his legs. Guys ain't open. The play calling is trash. You know, we know that the play calling been trash. If you follow the Eagles and follow the route running that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith had from last year versus this year, you know that it was totally different. No, nothing across the middle. It's a lot of short routes. Goofy shit. That's because of what? The OC changed. So it's basically learning a whole new system. You're learning a whole new system, bro. So you expecting JalenHurts to come out and, you know, act crazy, but bro, it's a lot to it than just. I want to see something. So, and he spread the ball out great in the. Like, look at these numbers. Look. JalenHurts had more rushing yards than Saquon against the Bucs. He ran the ball 9 times. Saquon had 19 attempts, only 43 yards. He ran the ball 19 times. Look, Dallas Goedert, 4 receptions, 4 targets. He was 4 for 4 with Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert had 2 touchdowns. That means he threw the ball to Dallas Goedert 4 times. 2 of them he got a touchdown, got the tutty, and he only had 37 yards, which means they was probably more than likely they was red zone plays. Saquon had 4 targets for 4 catches for 31 yards. Devontae Smith had 2 targets for only 29 yards. Calcaterra had 2 for 1. He only had 2 targets, 1 reception for 16. A.J. Brown down at the bottom. But look though, this is stuff that matters. He threw the ball. He targeted A.J. 9 times, and he only had 2 catches for 7 yards against the Bucs. So it's not like he's not getting the targets. Getting 9, 10 targets as a wide receiver is normal. Yeah, that's normal shit. Against let me see. So against this is average numbers right here. He threw against the Rams. He threw for 226 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had Saquon had 46 yards that game. JalenHurts had 40 yards on the ground. AJ had what? 10 targets for 6 receptions, 109 yards, and a tutty. Devontae Smith, 9 targets, 8 receptions, 60 yards, and a tutty. Dallas, 2 targets, 1 reception for 33 yards, and a touchdown. Like, bro, that's good numbers. What are we talking about? And during that game, JalenHurts was going at it with the OC, which tells you that he had to come in there and audible shit, man. He had to switch it up.
Exactly, for 130 yards. It's hard for me.
Percentage is 71%.
Of course it is. Mr. Fard, understand this, bro. He's not being asked to do everything that the game changers are asked to do.
Bro,
see if Matthew Stafford throws for 109, 130 yards. See how far that gets the Los Angeles Rams.
Because Cam, we not a pretty team. We a gritty team.
I understand
we a
that.
old school team.
Yes.
We run the pass.
I get that.
All of these.
Bro, I'm looking at Matthew Stafford. He only had JalenHurts had more passing yards. He had 226. Matthew Stafford had 196 for 2 touchdowns, and he threw a pick. Come on. Kyren Williams, he's talking about pass. He had 20 attempts for 94 yards. They ran the ball 20 times. That's not including Blake Corum and the other running back, I can't pronounce his name. And Puka Nacua had 15 targets for 11 receptions for 112 yards. So, like, the numbers at Devontae Adams, 3 receptions, 56. Like, the numbers ain't off, bro. I don't understand this. And I was looking at Patrick Mahomes. His numbers ain't super crazy neither. I don't know what he's talking about.
Nowadays, they pass to run. That's the difference.
Yep.
We're going to
That's a fact.
run,
Yep.
make them linebackers come up,
Yep.
and then a whoopity-doop, bop, bing,
Yep.
and we going to win and get us another ring.
Yeah.
So you got to see Cam at the end of the season, and then his lineup going to change.
No. It's not. Listen, bro. All I'm saying is this. It comes down to this and only this in regards to Jalen Hurts. He's not asked to do what everybody's asked to do. That's it.
What do you have to do?
He has to. He's not asked to carry his team. He has other amenities that can carry their weight.
To carry the franchise.
Patrick Mahomes has to carry his team in order for his team to listen to this, to even have a chance. Jalen Hurts doesn't have to carry the Philadelphia Eagles every single Sunday for his team to have a chance. You have Saquon Barkley.
He do got help.
Does he have help? He has.
You have help.
Bruh. Why is he trying to act like we got we do got the best team in the NFL, for sure. Super Bowl champs. What I'm trying to say is, why is he trying to act like we got, Joe Burrow had Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And Chase Brown is nice too, but before Chase Brown, they had I don't know why I'm thinking I ain't even going in it. They had another running back too that was good, that was over there. I think it was Singletary. Was it? I can't remember. Doesn't even matter. They got a nice squad. Look at Detroit, bro. Detroit. Best running back duo, like I said. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. Then you got Amon St. Brown. You got God damn. The fuck is their tight end name? They got a good tight end over there. His name is slipping me right now. But they got multiple wide receivers. Jameson Williams. And they got another one. Bro, they defense squad. They got a squad, bro. They got a squad. Dallas, look at, bro, niggas sleeping on Dallas. Dallas has a nice squad, bro. Dallas has had a nice squad. No cap for like the last 6 years, bro. No cap, bro. Like, I've liked it, Dallas' squad. I'm like, yo, they squad solid. They just can't finish it. That's what separates Jalen Hurts from everybody else, because he's a winner. If you see him in press conferences, dog, he is a winner. That's all he cares about. Everybody else, even when they block the field goal, what he doing? Regular. Didn't put on a Super Bowl ring because he ain't finished. Like, bro, he's just on a whole nother planet when it comes to this game and being a winner. That's what separates him from everybody else. This is why I put him above a lot of them, because he's just different, bro. He's not a nigga. And the number one most important thing that I believe separates Jalen Hurts from a Lamar Jackson, from a Josh Allen, from a Dak Prescott, is that he 9 times out of 10 ain't folding under pressure, dog. The nigga getting it done. He getting it done. I'm telling you. Dak surprised me against Green Bay the other day. I'm not going to lie. When Green Bay went up 3, I thought it was over, because he usually folds, bro. He didn't fold. He went down there, got the tutty. I'm like, okay. Like, he was looking good. I ain't going to lie.
Listen, you don't do that. Don't do that to the players.
No.
He has
I'm
some good players.
not doing that. What I am doing is this. When you go back through that 18-game winning streak, and it's phenomenal, you can't say out of all those 18 games that Jalen Hurts was the reason why y'all was winning those games, and only Jalen Hurts. You had Saquon that had 200+ yards in that game. You had other factors. The defense had 2 interceptions. Hold on, we having distractions.
Except for the Rams, that was it.
Say it again.
If Saquon ever had 20 yards, we blew a team out except for the Rams.
Man, listen, bro. Saquon Barkley was a couple yards away from 2,000. Yes, sir.
Do you know how many game-winning drives JalenHurts has?
It's impeccable. I get it, bro. I understand that, but that's not the point, Gillie. What I'm
telling you, because when the game is on the line and it's time to win,
you're right.
JalenHurts drives us down the field, and we leave off with the victory.
That's not my argument, though.
He's saying that's not the case.
I believe if Bradbury never got that holding penalty, which I think is a weak ass holding call, if you ask me, I ain't really see no real hold, and he had the hand on the hip, but I ain't really see no hold. But anyway, I believe JalenHurts would have went down and got that tutty, and that's what they was nervous about. Yeah, I mean, they like, I got some money on the game. Let me go ahead and call this holding call because, we need KC to win.
So y'all might have a misunderstanding of the argument or whatever.
He's not being asked to do what Patrick Mahomes is asked to do, Lamar Jackson is asked to do, Josh Allen is asked to do, Joe Burrow is asked to do, Matthew Stafford is asked to do, Justin Herbert is asked to do, Baker Mayfield asked to do, Jared Goff is asked to do. Stay with me.
Let me just ask you.
They ain't even a good argument.
Jaden Daniels asked to do.
You know what Nick Sirianni asked JalenHurts to do?
How you doing? Yes, sir.
Jalen Alexander Hurts. You know what Nick Sirianni asked Jalen Alexander Hurts to do?
What did he ask him?
That's it. Just win, baby.
Hold on. That's all he told him? That's all he told him, or did he talk to the team?
That's all he told him in the team. Just win, baby.
Okay. This is what. Listen. First and foremost, let's just said and documented. Gillie, I love you. Wallow, I love you.
You know we love you too, brother.
This is all entertainment, and I need you. It's like Batman and Joker. The culture
this ain't gonna never end.
But it will never end.
I love it.
And you better hope that they never get their ass whooped because, boy.
What happened? You said they was gonna lose yesterday. He said they was gonna lose to Tampa Bay.
Everybody said that we was gonna lose.
You
can't stupid.
No, who did he have beating Jalen yesterday?
Hold up. Go back and listen to it. I never said that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was going to beat Philly. I said I just chose Baker Mayfield to come back over JalenHurts. I said that the Philadelphia Eagles was going to win, but y'all cut that out.
He said you ain't hear that, cuz.
Don't you ever mention Baker Bartholomew Mayfield when we're talking about Jalen Alexander.
That's a fact, bro. Stop playing, bro.
Listen.
Yo, Baker been playing good. I ain't gonna lie. He been playing good these last 2 seasons. But, dog, don't compare Baker Mayfield to JalenHurts. You tripping.
Understand this. Maybe sometimes
we'll play a little bit more than we
on
gonna
that
end it.
Gillie pack too hard, you know what I'm saying? And that's cool. I got to give you a cigar too to bring you back down to reality. Bro, when you start to compare and contrast, because this is all about comparables and making your point, my discussion has always hedged on JalenHurts is not asked to do as much. That's not to say that he's not capable. That's not to say he's not capable. And that has always been my point, bro. That's
okay, and what's always been my point is JalenHurts has been a 5-year starter.
Yes.
And he's been to more Super Bowls than Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. You want to name all the rest of them? Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
We ain't even gonna say Jaden Daniels. He only been in the league 1 year.
Exactly.
So we ain't
Can't
gonna
name
say him.
Exactly.
But all of them dudes pretty much been in the league the same amount of time or longer. But they can't get it done. My man been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years.
And ball.
And 4 years as a
and ball.
starter.
And ball.
And ball put up big numbers.
And ball.
When it mattered the most.
When you even go back and look at guys that he's even being compared to in this very elite status, Tom Brady. You take Tom Brady off of the New England Patriots and then you scratch your head and say, do they still win those games? Now, ask it in this way. If you take JalenHurts off of the team for these 18 games, do they still win these 18 games?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
No.
So it's a good question, though.
Hell no.
And it depends on who you put in there. If you put Justin Herbert there, I can't say they're going to win. If you put Joe Burrow there, I can't say they're going to win. If you put Josh Allen there or Patrick Mahomes, listen, I ain't knocking. Listen, Patrick Mahomes is a fucking beast. He's a great quarterback, bro. Josh Allen, great quarterback. Even Lamar, I wasn't sold on Lamar Jackson until last year. I'm just being honest. In the year before that. That was, to me, when he like solidified, okay, he's a great quarterback. Before that, nah, he was overrated. Just saying.
Just listen to understand, bro. Like, I understand you're infatuated with your hometown team, but bro, I'm literally trying to give you a different thought process where it's like, yo.
Okay, so you telling me if you put Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or one of them on the Eagles, we'll win 18 straight games?
You will win 19.
He tripping,
19. What?
He tripping.
What? Are you serious?
I don't know.
Are you serious?
It's a good.
Boy, what? Would you? Come on. Not them
19.
two. Anybody but them two.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know the only quarterback in the NFL right now without a turnover?
I get it. I understand your point, but understand.
I speak facts, Cam.
Okay.
I do not
Well,
speak
speak these facts too. While he's protecting the football, he should be trying to force the football in number 11 hands. Because if he does not, he's going to become even a more distraction. You got a nigga reading books on the sideline. That nigga don't
That's
read
old.
books.
That's old.
And he's sending
No, he know how to
encrypted
read.
texts. Of course he know how to read.
I talked to AJ after every game. AJ go home, he get in the sauna, man. He gets something good to eat, man, and he get ready for practice the next week because he know we going to the bowl. And I ain't talking about the cereal bowl. I'm talking about the Super Bowl.
All right, we're gonna end it with that. Yeah, yo, shout out to Cam and Gillie having this. That was a great debate. I like it. It's good for the culture. All that beef and shit is weak. I like this seeing this. That was dope. But yo, bro, just being honest, bro, I don't like the argument of he's solely doing. Bro, it's a team sport, bro. Like, look at LeBron James. LeBron James went to what, fucking 12, 13 straight finals and only won, 3? Some shit like that. Some crazy. It was like not even close. Not even like, all I'm saying is only, what was that? When he was on Cleveland, the year they came back down 3-1 was when I was like, yo, he put that shit on his back. Outside of that, bro, even LeBron James needed players. He needed Chris Bosh. He needed Dwayne Wade. He needed that in order to go get the motherfucking the ring. So saying like a team that has good players, like a quarterback, isn't deserving of respect, I don't understand that. I don't understand that argument. I really don't. You know, I'm trying to understand it, but I don't understand it because every team has to have solid players and playmakers in order to make it to the big game. And then you have to show up. Granted, yes, at the Rams, he had great numbers. Like, bro, just like anything in life, and especially in sports, everybody gonna have a day, bro. You gonna have niggas that, even Steph Curry has an off game, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but, my whole thing is Jalen Hurts is a winner, dog. And when everybody was shitting on Jalen Hurts and was talking, when he got drafted and when Carson Wentz was there, when I seen him play, I said, oh, yeah, we got one. Everybody was shitting on him, saying he wasn't going to be able to make it happen. He wasn't going to be this, wasn't going to be that. Now everybody on the Jalen Hurts train. That's how it is, though, bro. Unfortunately, bro, it's just life, bro. You everybody could be kicking your back in the moment you start shining and shit start going your way. Everybody want to hop on it. That's why I love Jalen Hurts, because even that he doesn't bro. Baker Mayfield, when he came in the league and he was doing his little thing, has some good games. Fucking Campbell Soup commercials, insurance commercials. He everywhere. Everybody talking about Baker Mayfield. And then what happened after that? He didn't keep it. He wasn't consistent. And then you stop hearing about Baker Mayfield. That's what they do. That's how they capitalize off, somebody's greatness. It could be a moment, or it could be like a Tom Brady where it's like fucking forever. You know what I'm saying? just depends on you. I believe what separates Tom Brady, a Michael Jordan, a fucking, you know, and I'm putting JalenHurts in this category because he's been consistent for the last 5 years. For the last 5 years, he has made it to 2 Super Bowls, won 1, been in the playoffs every year. That is a feat of itself, bro. I don't care what you're talking about, bro. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Tom Brady, GOAT, winner. He's a winner. He loves winning. And that's what it's about. JalenHurts loves winning. And I love the fact that he's humble, man. But, yeah, man, shout out to Gillie, shout out to Cam, man. Great joint, man. I love talking about football, though. It's my shit. But yeah, man, that's the show for today, man. If you fuck with the show, make sure you like, share, subscribe, man. You know, shit been slowing down, but it's all good. I ain't feeling no type of way about it. You know, when you talk about certain things, I'm feeling like the algorithm don't like to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's all good though. But if you fuck with the show, please like, share, and also subscribe to the channel. Help your boy get monetized by January. Be on the side of love, of supporting your boy, SL550. Man, this is the N.G.L.A. podcast. Until next time, I'm out.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.